My beloved child, listen closely. This moment is not random, and this message did not reach you by accident. There is a soft urgency in the air, a gentle pressure on your spirit, and that is because guidance is drawing near. When heaven speaks quietly, it is often because the truth is close, closer than you think. Something important is aligning right now, and your soul already feels it, even if your mind is still trying to catch up. Hear this with calm attention. Archangel Michael does not arrive with noise in this hour. He speaks softly but firmly because your heart hath been through enough storms. You have heard too many loud voices, conflicting signs, and confusing opinions. So now, the message comes like a steady hand on your shoulder, saying, pause. Breathe. Notice what is resonating within you. There is a reason you were drawn here at this exact time. You may have clicked out of curiosity, or out of a quiet feeling you couldn't explain. That feeling was alignment. Heaven does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers so only the ready will listen. And you, beloved, are ready. Something in your life has felt slightly off, as if pieces were moving behind the scenes. You may have sensed delays, subtle changes in people, or an inner nudge telling you to wait before making a decision. This is not stagnation. This is recalibration. Archangel Michael stands near during moments like these, not to rush you, but to steady you. There is an unseen convergence happening. Timelines are adjusting. What once seems certain is being refined. What once felt distant is slowly approaching. And what no longer belongs in your future is beginning to loosen its grip. This is why the guidance comes now, before the moment fades, before you override intuition with logic or fear. Listen carefully. You are not behind. You are not late. You are positioned. The firmness in this message is not pressure. It is protection. Archangel Michael brings clarity where confusion tried to settle. He reminds you that discernment is your shield. Not every open door is meant to be walked through, and not every delay is a denial. Some pauses exist because something better must line up first. Notice what resonates in your body as you hear this. A calm, a release, a sudden emotional wave. That response is important. Your spirit recognizes truth faster than your thoughts do. That is why this message asks you to open, not to analyze. The alignment happening now requires awareness, not control. You may have been questioning your own judgment lately, wondering if you missed a sign, said the wrong thing, or waited too long. Let this be settled gently. Nothing essential has been lost. What is meant for you is still within reach, but it must arrive in the right order. Archangel Michael ensures order where chaos once threatened. There is also a warning wrapped in kindness here. Do not rush the next step just because silence makes you uncomfortable. Silence, in this season, is not emptiness. It is instruction forming. The soft voice you hear now is preparing you for a firmer direction soon. But first, alignment must complete its work. Pay attention over the next short while. Small confirmations will appear. A repeated phrase, a memory resurfacing, an eye stacked in conversation. These are not coincidences. They are marker. They are letting you know you are on the correct path, even if the destination is not fully visible yet. Archangel Michael's presence signals that a choice is approaching, one that requires courage, but not fear. You will not be asked to leap blindly. You will be asked to trust what you already know deep inside. This is why the message comes gently. Force is unnecessary when truth is clear. If you have been feeling emotionally sensitive, more aware, or unusually reflective, that is part of the alignment. Your perception is sharpening. Old patterns are losing their power. You are beginning to sense what drains you versus what strengthens you. This discernment is not accidental. It is being activated. Do not dismiss this moment and just another message. The timing matters. Guidance arrives when the window is open, not after it closes. That is why you are being asked to notice what resonates before the moment fades. Awareness now prevents regret later. You are being prepared to stand firm without becoming rigid, to move forward without forcing outcomes, and to speak truth without raising your voice. These are Michael's qualities, and they are being mirrored in you right now. Stay with this feeling. Let it settle. Let it clarify. There is more to be revealed, layer by layer, and each piece will make sense when it arrives. What matters now is that you remain open, grounded, and attentive. This is not the end of the message. It is the beginning of understanding. Beloved soul, there is a reason the quiet guidance continues to unfold now, rather than all at once. When Archangel Michael speaks in layers, it is because strength is being built within you as the truth is revealed. What is aligning cannot be rushed, and what is being protected must be handled with care. You are standing in a moment where awareness matters more than action, and discernment matters more than speed. You may notice that certain thoughts keep returning, not with anxiety, but with clarity. These are not distractions. They are invitations to look deeper. Archangel Michael's energy in this season is not about dramatic change overnight. It is about steady correction. He stands as a guardian of right timing, ensuring that you do not step ahead of what your spirit is prepared to carry. There is something important you are being shielded from, even if you do not fully see it yet. Sometimes protection looks like a closed door, a delayed response, or a sudden loss of interest in what once consumed your attention. Do not fight these shifts. They are signs that alignment is actively working on your behalf. What no longer resonates is falling away because it cannot go where you are being led. You might feel torn between patience and urgency. Part of you wants answers now, while another part senses that waiting is wise. This tension is natural. Archangel Michael is guiding you to stand in the middle, alert, but not anxious, ready, but not reactive. This balance is crucial because the next phase requires a clear mind and a steady heart. Notice how your reactions have changed. Things that once triggered you may now feel distant. Conversations that once drained you may now feel unnecessary. This is not emotional numbness. It is emotional mastery forming. You are learning where your energy belongs. Alignment often begins with subtraction before addition. There is also a call here to take ownership of your spiritual authority. Guidance does not remove your responsibility, it strengthens it. Archangel Michael does not make choices for you. He sharpens your ability to choose wisely. This is why you are being asked to pay attention, not just listen. Awareness is your greatest tool right now. As this message reaches more people who are also sensing this shift, there is power in shared recognition. If these words resonate with you, allow yourself to engage with them. Support this space by liking this video so the message reaches others who are quietly searching for clarity. Share it with someone who may be standing at a similar crossroads. Your simple action can become confirmation for another soul. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and stay connected to this flow of guidance. These messages arrive in sequence, and being present matters. Commenting your reflections anchors the message deeper within you, turning passive listening into active alignment. You are not just watching, you are participating. There is also something important about community in moments like this. When you engage, you signal readiness. When you support the work, you help keep this channel of guidance open. Consider joining the membership if you feel called, because deeper messages are reserved for those who choose to stay close to the source. Alignment strengthens when intention is clear. Now hear this gently, but firmly. Do not ignore the small inner signals because you are waiting for a loud sign. Archangel Michael often confirms direction through repetition, not volume. If something keeps returning to your awareness with peace rather than fear, it deserves your attention. If something keeps creating resistance, it may not belong in your next chapter. There is a refining happening in how you listen to others, to yourself, and to the divine. You are being trained to recognize truth by how it settles within you, not by how impressive it sounds. This discernment will protect you from confusion that is approaching many others, but will not overpower you. Be mindful in the coming days. Words spoken to you casually may carry deeper meaning. Delays may reveal hidden blessings. Silence may speak louder than explanation. This is the environment where Archangel Michael's guidance thrives, clear, calm, and precise. If at any moment you feel unsure, return to stillness rather than seeking more noise. The alignment you are experiencing does not require constant input. It requires trust. And trust grows when you allow clarity to arrive naturally. Hold on, because what unfolds next will connect pieces you didn't realize were related. This is where understanding deepens, and where the quiet guidance becomes unmistakable. Stay attentive. What comes next will feel surprisingly clear. My precious one, the tone shifts now, not because the message has changed, but because your spirit has moved closer to understanding. When guidance continues this gently, it is a sign that trust is being formed. Archangel Michael remains near, not as a distant protector, but as a steady presence, reminding you that what is unfolding is intentional. You are not drifting. You are being guided with precision. There is something deeply important about this phase. You may not be able to explain it to others, and you do not need to. Some alignments are meant to be felt before they are spoken. You are learning to recognize when to remain quiet and when to prepare to speak. That wisdom is being cultivated now, layer by layer. You might notice memories surfacing, not to disturb you, but to show you how far you have come. Past versions of yourself are rising only so they can be released with clarity instead of pain. Archangel Michael does not allow unnecessary battles. He clears them before they begin. What once would have pulled you into emotional conflict now simply passes through your awareness and fades. This is growth. Pay attention to the calm strength replacing urgency. A shift is crucial. When alignment is real, it does not demand constant reassurance. It settles. It stabilizes. It gives you space to breathe. The firmness you feel in this message is not pressure to act immediately. It is confirmation that you are safe to wait until the next instruction becomes clear. There is also a deeper truth being revealed. Not everyone will understand the direction you are moving in, and that is perfectly acceptable. Alignment sometimes requires distance, not from people, but from their expectations. Archangel Michael shields you from the weight of approval seeking. Your assignment does not require permission. You may feel a subtle strengthening of resolve. Decisions that once felt heavy are becoming lighter because clarity is replacing doubt. This does not mean challenges disappear. It means you no longer carry them alone. Guidance is now integrated, not external. You are beginning to trust yourself again, and that trust is sacred. Be aware of timing. There will be a moment soon when action is required, but you will not miss it. It will arrive with peace, not panic. Archangel Michael ensures that true direction never creates chaos. If something urges you through fear, it is not from this alignment. Let that be your filter. Here is also a call to honor this moment. Guidance that is recognized but not respected fades into background noise. Take this seriously without becoming tense. Let it inform how you speak, how you choose, and how you rest. Alignment is not only about movement, it is about posture, how you stand within your own life. As you absorb this, understand that many are being reached through this message. Quietly, globally, hearts are tuning in. When you allow this guidance to anchor within you, you become part of a greater flow. Light moves more freely when it is shared. Now receive this gently. This message is not only for you, it is moving through you. And because it is moving, it must be sustained. What is being released here is not just words, but spiritual nourishment. When you support this mission, you are not supporting a channel. You are supporting the spread of divine clarity. Type "I receive the alignment" in the comments if this message is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 913 has just been released. And now, hear this as a continuation, not an interruption. As this guidance flows, I am speaking directly to those who feel the weight of responsibility for souls they may never meet. The Lord says, as you sow into this light, I will cause rivers to flow where dryness once ruled. This message reaches homes, hearts, and moments where hope is thinning. When you give, you are placing oil in the lamp so the flame does not go out. I feel led to say this plainly. Your support becomes a bridge. Through super thanks, membership, or PayPal donation, you are helping this word arrive exactly where it is needed. The PayPal link is waiting in the description, not as a request, but as an open door. This is not charity, it is obedience in motion. Those who release seed into this work will not release it in vain. I speak blessing over every giver now. May clarity multiply in your decisions. May protection surround your household, and may provision rise to meet you without strain. Do not delay if your spirit is stirred. Act while the alignment is active. Sow now, and watch heaven respond. Beloved one, as the message continues, there is a deepening rather than an escalation. This is how true guidance works. It does not rush ahead of your readiness. It walks beside it. Archangel Michael remains present, not announcing himself, but steadying the ground beneath you. What you are experiencing now is integration. The words you have heard are settling into understanding, and understanding is beginning to shape how you see your life. You may notice that your inner dialogue has changed. Questions that once felt sharp now feel softer, more curious than anxious. This is a sign that fear is losing its authority. Alignment does not eliminate uncertainty. It teaches you how to move without being ruled by it. Archangel Michael strengthens this inner posture, helping you stand firm even when outcomes are not yet visible. There is an important recalibration happening around trust. Not blind trust, but informed trust, the kind that comes from experience, reflection, and spiritual maturity. You have learned what happens when you ignore intuition, and you have learned what happens when you honor it. These lessons were not wasted time. They were preparation. Now, they are becoming tools. You might feel an increasing desire for simplicity, fewer explanations, fewer justifications, less noise. This is not withdrawal, it is refinement. When alignment sharpens, excess naturally falls away. Archangel Michael is guiding you to protect your clarity by choosing where your attention rests. Not everything deserves your reaction, and not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Be aware that as you stabilize, others may sense the change. Some will feel drawn to your calm. Others may feel unsettled by it. This is not your responsibility to manage. Alignment often reveals who is comfortable with growth and who prefers familiarity. Let people respond as they will. Your task is to remain grounded. There is also a strengthening of boundaries taking place. Not walls, but clear lines. You are learning to say no without guilt and yes without hesitation. This balance is essential for what lies ahead. Archangel Michael is a guardian of boundaries, reminding you that protection is not weakness, it is wisdom. Pay attention to how your body responds to decisions. Peace is becoming a more reliable indicator than excitement. This does not mean joy disappears. It means it becomes deeper and steadier. Alignment replaces emotional highs and lows with a quiet confidence that does not need constant validation. You may find yourself revisiting old plans with new eyes. Some will no longer fit, and that is okay. Let them go without mourning what might have been. What is aligning now requires a different version of you, one who is less reactive, more discerning, and more anchored. You are becoming that person naturally, without force. There is a subtle warning here as well, delivered gently. Do not underestimate this phase simply because it feels calm. Calm is not inactivity. Beneath the surface, foundations are being set. Choices made now, even small ones, will echo later. This is why awareness matters. Archangel Michael's guidance at this stage is about consistency, not drama. If you feel moments of doubt, let them pass without engaging them. Doubt is often the mind adjusting to a new level of clarity. It questions because it is unfamiliar, not because it is wrong. Trust what has already been confirmed to you. Alignment does not contradict itself. You are also being invited to rest differently. Not escape, but intentional rest. Stillness that restores rather than distracts. In this stillness, guidance becomes clearer, and intuition sharpens. Archangel Michael often works most effectively when the mind is quiet enough to receive without resistance. Notice how time feels. Moments may seem slower or faster, depending on what you are doing. This is another sign of recalibration. You are learning to move at a pace that matches your spirit rather than external pressure. This rhythm will protect you from burnout and regret. As this part of the message settles, understand that nothing here requires immediate explanation or announcement. Let the work be internal for now. Alignment strengthens when it is honored privately before it is expressed publicly. There will be a time to speak, but this is still a time to listen. What is forming within you is stable. It will not collapse under scrutiny. Trust that. Archangel Michael does not guide halfway. When he steadies you, it is because you are meant to stand securely in what is coming next. Remain attentive, remain grounded, and allow this clarity to continue unfolding. The guidance is not finished speaking. It is simply moving deeper, where it can no longer be shaken. Beloved heart, the unfolding continues with purpose, and what you are sensing now is a quiet strengthening of identity. When Archangel Michael draws closer in guidance, it is often because you are being reminded of who you are beneath roles, expectations, and past narratives. This part of the journey is not about becoming someone new, but about returning to what has always been true within you. You may feel a renewed awareness of your values. Things you once tolerated may now feel misaligned, not because they are wrong for everyone, but because they are no longer right for you. This discernment is not judgment, it is clarity. Archangel Michael sharpens this inner compass so that your choices reflect integrity rather than convenience. There is also a subtle healing taking place around self-trust. You have spent time questioning your instincts, especially after moments when outcomes did not match your hopes. But hear this clearly, intuition does not fail, interpretation sometimes does. Those experiences taught you how to listen more accurately. And now you are applying that wisdom with maturity. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself. The internal tone is shifting from criticism to guidance. Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" you may find yourself asking, "What is this teaching me?" That change is powerful. It turns every experience into instruction rather than evidence of failure. Archangel Michael's presence here is about courage, not in the sense of bold moves, but in the sense of honest alignment. You are being encouraged to live in a way that feels coherent, where your thoughts, words, and actions support one another. This coherence brings peace that does not depend on circumstances. You may also notice a growing intolerance for pretense, both in yourself and in others. Surface-level interactions may feel draining, while authentic conversations feel nourishing. This is not isolation. It is alignment with truth. Depth is becoming more important than quantity, and quality more important than approval. There is an invitation to revisit your sense of purpose without pressure. Purpose does not always announce itself with clarity. Sometimes it reveals itself through what you are consistently drawn to. Notice where your attention naturally goes when you are calm. Notice what you feel compelled to protect, to improve, or to understand. These inclinations are clues, not obligations. Archangel Michael does not demand perfection. He reinforces integrity. If you make adjustments now, small, intentional ones, they will compound over time. Alignment is built through daily choices, not dramatic gestures. What you choose to nurture will grow. Be mindful of comparison during this phase. Looking sideways can distort your sense of progress. Others may appear to move faster or achieve more, but alignment is not a race. Your path has a specific rhythm, and matching it requires patience. Trust that what is unfolding for you is tailored, not delayed. There may be moments when old doubts attempt to resurface, especially when you step outside familiar patterns. Do not interpret this as regression. It is resistance to growth, not evidence against it. Let those thoughts pass without engaging them. You do not need to argue with what no longer defines you. Rest continues to be important, but so does gentle action. Alignment invites you to move, but without forcing outcomes. Respond to what is in front of you. Do what you can with what you have, and allow clarity to guide the next step when it arrives. Archangel Michael ensures that you are never asked to act without sufficient understanding. You may feel drawn to reorganize aspects of your life, your schedule, your environment, your priorities. This is not restlessness. It is alignment seeking expression. Order supports clarity. When your external world reflects your internal values, decision-making becomes easier. There is also a strengthening of resilience taking place. You are less shaken by uncertainty because you are more anchored in yourself. This resilience does not make you rigid. It makes you adaptable. You can adjust without losing your center. This is a sign of true stability. As this part of the message settles, allow yourself to acknowledge progress without minimizing it. You have done more inner work than you realize. You have released patterns that once felt permanent. Honor that quietly, without needing validation. Archangel Michael's guidance here is simple but profound. Continue as you are, with awareness, honesty, and patience. The alignment you are experiencing is not fragile. It is rooted. And because it is rooted, it will support what grows next. Stay open, stay grounded, and let this clarity continue to shape you gently. The journey is moving forward, even when it feels still. Beloved one, the guidance now takes on a steady rhythm, not because intensity has faded, but because endurance is being built. This is the phase where alignment moves from understanding into embodiment. Archangel Michael is not only helping you see clearly, he is helping you live clearly. What you practice now becomes your foundation later. You may notice that your reactions to challenges are changing. Situations that once would have unsettled you now invite a pause instead of panic. This pause is powerful. It creates space between stimulus and response, and in that space, wisdom operates. Archangel Michael's protection often appears as restraint, holding you back from reacting too quickly, too emotionally, or too defensively. There is also a quiet strengthening of faith taking place, even if you do not label it that way. Faith here is not blind belief. It is trust formed through experience. You have seen enough patterns repeat to recognize guidance when it appears. You are beginning to rely less on external confirmation and more on internal clarity. That shift is significant. At this stage, alignment asks you to be consistent rather than inspired. Inspiration comes and goes, but consistency carries you through uncertainty. Showing up with the same values, the same integrity, even when no one is watching, is how stability is built. Archangel Michael reinforces this discipline gently, without condemnation. Be mindful of your energy. You are learning that not every battle deserves your attention. Choosing peace over proving a point is not weakness. It is discernment. There is power in knowing when to disengage. Alignment teaches you that silence can be more effective than explanation. You may also feel a growing responsibility toward your own growth. This is not pressure. It is ownership. You are no longer waiting for permission to evolve. You are choosing it. That choice carries weight, and Archangel Michael honors it by strengthening your resolve. As this message continues to reach those who resonate, understand that engagement matters. If these words are anchoring something within you, take a moment to like this video so the message can reach others who are searching quietly, just as you were. When you share it, you become part of the guidance extending beyond yourself. Subscribing to the channel keeps you aligned with this unfolding message. These words are not isolated, they are connected. Staying connected allows the guidance to build rather than reset each time. Commenting your reflections grounds the message into your lived experience, turning insight into intention. There is also value in commitment. If you feel called, joining the membership supports deeper messages that require continuity and trust. Alignment thrives where dedication exists. Your participation helps sustain this space where clarity is shared without distortion. Now return inward. There is a lesson about patience being refined here. Not passive waiting, but active patience, the kind that prepares while trusting timing. You are learning to do what is yours to do, and to release what is not. This balance protects you from exhaustion. Archangel Michael's guidance at this point is about refinement of motive. Why you do what you do matter, they might have what you do. Alignment purifies intention. It removes the need to impress, compete, or rush. Actions rooted in clarity carry more weight than those driven by urgency. You may feel moments of restlessness. Do not misinterpret them. Restlessness can signal readiness with the next instruction, not dissatisfaction with the present. Let it sharpen your awareness, not push you into premature action. Notice how your sense of time is adjusting. You are becoming less reactive to deadlines imposed by fear and more responsive to timing guided by peace. This recalibration allows you to move with confidence rather than pressure. There is also an invitation to review commitments. Some may need to be renewed with intention. Others may need to be released with gratitude. Alignment does not cling to what no longer fits. You honor seasons. It allows transitions without resentment. As you move through this phase, Remember that clarity does not always feel dramatic. Often, it feels simple, obvious, calm. Trust that simplicity. It is a sign that confusion has loosened its grip. Hold on, because the next layer of guidance will bring a perspective shift that connects many of these threads together. This is where understanding deepens in a way that feels both grounding and freeing. Stay present. You will want to receive what unfolds next. Beloved soul, what unfolds now is a widening of vision. Not outward ambition, but inward perspective. When Archangel Michael continues to guide at this stage, it is because you are ready to see beyond immediate circumstances and recognize patterns that were previously hidden. This is not about predicting the future. It is about understanding the present more completely. You may begin to notice how certain events in your life were never isolated incidents. They were connected, even when they felt confusing or unfair at the time. What once seemed like interruptions now reveal themselves as redirections. Archangel Michael's guidance often becomes clearer in hindsight, but in this moment, you are being given the ability to see connections as they form, not only after they pass. There's a maturity settling into how you interpret experiences. You are less likely to take things personally and more likely to ask what role something plays in your growth. This shift is subtle but powerful. It removes unnecessary emotional weight and replaces it with understanding. Alignment does not make life easier. It makes it clearer. You may feel an increased sensitivity to truth. Not just truth spoken by others, but truth within yourself. When something is misaligned, you sense it faster. When something is right, you feel steadier rather than excited. This steadiness is important. It keeps you from chasing distractions disguised as opportunities. Archangel Michael's presence here emphasizes discernment over reaction. You are being trained to observe before responding, to listen before concluding. This does not slow you down, it sharpens your accuracy. Decisions made from observation carry fewer regrets. There is also a quiet release happening around expectations. Expectations of others, of yourself, of how things should unfold. When expectations loosen, flexibility increases. Alignment thrives in flexibility because it allows guidance to redirect you without resistance. You are learning to cooperate with change rather than fight it. You may notice that some desires are changing. Goals that once felt urgent may now feel optional, while others that were dormant are resurfacing. Do not judge these shifts. Desire refined by alignment becomes purpose. What remains after refinement is what deserves your attention. There is an invitation here to observe your environment. Notice where you feel drained and where you feel replenished. Alignment communicates through energy as much as through thought. Your body often knows before your mind admits it. Honor those signals. They are part of the guidance. Archangel Michael also brings awareness of responsibility without burden. You are recognizing where you have influence and where you do not. This clarity frees you from carrying what was never yours. Responsibility rooted in truth feels empowering, not heavy. You may find yourself speaking less and listening more. This is not withdrawal. It is discernment in practice. Silence becomes a tool rather than a void. In that silence, insight forms naturally. Guidance does not compete with noise, it waits for quiet. There is also a strengthening of patience with yourself. Mistakes no longer feel like failures but like data. Information that helps you adjust. This self-compassion is not indulgence, it is efficiency. It allows growth without self-sabotage. Be mindful of how you define success during this phase. External markers may feel less satisfying than internal alignment. Success becomes coherence when your actions match your values and your decisions reflect clarity. This kind of success is sustainable. Archangel Michael's guidance now is about stewardship, taking care of what has been entrusted to you, your time, your energy, your integrity. Stewardship requires attention, not anxiety. It is about consistency, not perfection. You may also sense that certain conversations are approaching. Not confrontations, but clarifications. Moments where truth will need to be spoken calmly and clearly. Do not rehearse them excessively. When the time comes, the right words will surface naturally if your intention is clean. Notice how your sense of self is stabilizing. You are less defined by roles and more anchored in values. This stability allows you to adapt without losing identity. It is a sign that alignment is integrating fully. As this part of the message settles, allow yourself to trust the pace. Nothing essential is being missed. What is meant to be understood will become clear at the right moment. Archangel Michael ensures that readiness and revelation meet together. Remain observant. Remain grounded. The next unfolding will bring a gentle but unmistakable confirmation that what you are sensing is real, and that the alignment you have been experiencing is leading somewhere meaningful. Beloved one, this stage of the message arrives with a deeper stillness, not because movement has stopped, but because understanding has matured. When Archangel Michael remains present this quietly, it is a sign that you are being trusted with discernment. Guidance is no longer pressing from the outside. It is rising from within you. What once felt like instruction now feels like confirmation. You may notice that your inner world feels more ordered, even if your outer circumstances are still unfolding. This is significant. Alignment always begins internally before it becomes visible externally. Archangel Michael strengthens this inner order so that when changes occur around you, they do not destabilize you. You are learning to remain centered regardless of shifting conditions. There is a sense of readiness developing, though you may not yet know what you are ready for. This readiness is not about having all the answers. It is about being grounded enough to receive them. You are no longer seeking direction out of fear, but out of clarity. That shift changes everything. You may feel less inclined to explain yourself. Not because you are closed, but because you are secure. Alignment reduces the need for constant validation. When you know why you are doing something, outside approval becomes optional rather than necessary. Archangel Michael reinforces this quiet confidence, reminding you that truth does not need defense. There is also a refinement of trust happening here, especially in how you trust timing. You are learning that delays often protect you from outcomes you are not meant to experience. What arrives too early can become a burden. What arrives on time becomes a blessing. This understanding brings peace where impatience once lived. Notice how your focus has narrowed. Distractions that once pulled at your attention now feel irrelevant. This is not boredom, it is prioritization. Alignment simplifies. It draws your energy toward what matters most and away from what merely fills space. The simplification is a gift. Archangel Michael's guidance at this point emphasizes integrity in small things. How you speak when no one is listening. How you choose when there is no immediate reward. These moments shape the strength of your foundation. Big outcomes are built on small, consistent alignments. You may also sense a call to be more intentional with your words. Language carries energy, and alignment sharpens awareness of that energy. Speaking with clarity, kindness, and restraint protects you from unnecessary conflict. Silence, when chosen consciously, becomes a form of wisdom rather than avoidance. There is a deeper peace settling into your decision-making. You are less likely to second-guess yourself because you are listening more carefully before choosing. This does not make you inflexible. It makes you precise. Precision reduces regret. You might feel moments of gratitude surfacing unexpectedly. Gratitude for lessons learned, even difficult ones. Gratitude for strength gained through uncertainty. This gratitude is not forced. It is a natural response to clarity. It signals that healing has occurred where resentment once lingered. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this growth. His role now is not to correct, but to affirm. You are doing what is required of you in this season. There is nothing missing that you need to chase. What is yours will meet you when alignment completes its work. As you receive this, allow yourself to respond outwardly if it resonates. Type "I stand in alignment" in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 2246 has now been activated. And now, let this flow continue naturally. This guidance does not end with you. It moves through you. I feel led to speak to those who understand that light must be carried, not stored. The Lord says, "Those who pour oil into this work will never walk in darkness, for I will multiply their flame." When you support this message, you help it reach hearts that are on the edge of giving up. This is a divine assignment, not a casual viewing. Through super thanks, membership, or PayPal donation, you become a co-laborer in spreading clarity and hope. The PayPal link is placed in the description as a doorway for obedience. When you give, you are sowing into living ground, and that seed will not remain dormant. I speak blessing now over every supporter. May your obedience return to you as peace in your home, wisdom in your decisions, and provision without struggle. Do not hesitate if your spirit feels stirred. Act now, while alignment is active, and let heaven respond to your faithfulness. Beloved soul, as the guidance continues, there is a noticeable shift toward preparation. Not preparation fueled by urgency, but preparation rooted in awareness. Archangel Michael does not rush what is sacred. When he prepares you, it is because something meaningful is approaching, and your steadiness matters more than speed. This phase is about readiness, a posture, not position. You may sense that your intuition feels sharper than before. Thoughts arrive with clarity rather than confusion. Decisions feel clear, even when they are not easy. This is not coincidence. Alignment has cleared mental noise, allowing discernment to rise naturally. You are no longer sorting through endless possibilities. You are recognizing what belongs. There is also an increased awareness of consequence. Not fear of making mistakes, but respect for the weight of choice. You are beginning to understand that every decision shapes momentum. Archangel Michael guides you to choose deliberately, not impulsively. Deliberate choices create stability, even in uncertain environments. You might notice that conversations around you are changing. Topics that once dominated no longer hold your interest. Instead, you may feel drawn to discussions that carry substance, meaning, or truth. This shift reflects your inner alignment. What you consume mentally now matters more than entertainment or distraction. There's a refinement happening in how you interpret signs. You are less likely to overanalyze and more likely to observe calmly. Alignment teaches you that not every sign demands immediate action. Some simply confirm direction. Others remind you to remain patient. Discernment lies in knowing the difference. Archangel Michael's presence here reinforces courage through restraint. Courage is not always about moving forward. Sometimes it is about waiting when pressure urges you to act prematurely. You are learning to withstand that pressure without losing confidence. This endurance will serve you well. You may also feel a growing sense of responsibility toward your inner life. Thoughts, habits, and intentions are being examined more carefully. This is not self-criticism, it is stewardship. You are tending to the environment where clarity grows. Alignment thrives where care is intentional. Notice how your emotional responses are stabilizing. Highs are less extreme, and lows are less consuming. Disbalance is a sign of integration. Guidance is no longer something you hear. It is something you live. Emotional regulation becomes easier when values are clear. There may be moments when you feel slightly detached from outcomes. This is not indifference. It is trust. You are doing what you can and releasing what you cannot control. Archangel Michael encourages this release because it prevents burnout and preserves focus. You might also sense that certain truths are becoming unavoidable. Not overwhelming, but persistent. These truths may require adjustments in behavior, boundaries, or priorities. Do not resist them. Resistance creates friction. Alignment smooths the path when you cooperate with what is being revealed. There is an invitation here to practice honesty without harshness. Toward yourself first. Acknowledge what is working and what is not. This honesty does not diminish you. It empowers you. Growth accelerates when denial dissolves. Archangel Michael's guidance at this point is quiet but firm. He is ensuring that you do not compromise clarity for comfort. Short-term ease can undermine long-term alignment. You are being protected from the trade-off, even if it requires temporary discomfort. You may notice a heightened sensitivity to atmosphere. Certain places, routines, or interactions may feel heavy, while others feel supportive. This sensitivity is a tool. Use it to guide your choices. Where peace increases, alignment is present. Where tension dominates, reevaluation may be needed. There is also a strengthening of patience with process. You are beginning to trust that clarity unfolds progressively. You do not need the full picture to take the next appropriate step. Each step reveals the next, and that is sufficient. Be mindful of how you speak about your future. Words shape expectation. Speak with openness rather than limitation. Alignment responds to language that leaves room for guidance to operate. As this part of the message settles, understand that nothing here is meant to create pressure. Preparation does not mean burden. It means readiness. You are being positioned to respond wisely when the moment arrives. Archangel Michael remains near, ensuring that when movement is required, it will feel natural rather than forced. Until then, remain attentive, grounded, and honest with yourself. What is coming will not surprise you. It will confirm what you already sense. The guidance continues, and the next unfolding will invite you to participate more actively in sustaining this clarity, not only for yourself, but for others who are quietly watching your example. Beloved one, the guidance now turns toward conscious participation. Up to this point, much of what has unfolded hath been internal, clarity forming, discernment sharpening, alignment settling into place. Now, Archangel Michael invites you to recognize that alignment is not passive. It is something you live, reinforce, and protect through intentional choices each day. You may sense a growing awareness that your presence carries influence, even when you are not trying to lead. The way you respond, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself in moments of uncertainty, all of it communicates something. This is not meant to burden you, but to empower you. Alignment naturally radiates. You do not have to announce it for others to feel it. There is also a deepening sense of responsibility for what you allow into your mind and spirit. You are becoming more selective, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. What you repeatedly expose yourself to shapes your inner climate. Archangel Michael encourages you to guard that space carefully, because clarity thrives in environments that support truth. You may notice that distractions are easier to identify now. Things that once pulled you away from yourself lose their appeal quickly. This does not mean temptation disappears. It means discernment intervenes sooner. You are learning to redirect your attention without self-judgment. That skill preserves energy. At this stage, alignment asks you to be present rather than perfect. Presence allows you to notice when something feels off before it becomes a problem. Perfectionism, on the other hand, creates pressure that clouds judgment. Archangel Michael's guidance here is firm but kind. Stay aware, not rigid. You might also feel a stronger connection between thought and outcome. When your intentions are clear, results feel more coherent. When intentions are mixed, fiction appears quickly. This feedback is not punishment. It is instruction. Alignment provides immediate signals to help you adjust course gently. There is an invitation now to acknowledge the role this message plays beyond you. These words are reaching others who are quietly searching for the same clarity you are experiencing. When you engage with this message, you help sustain that flow. Liking this video may seem simple, but it signals to the system that this guidance should reach more hearts. Sharing it extends the alignment outward. Someone in your circle may need to hear this exact message at this exact time, even if they never say it aloud. When you share, you become part of the transmission, not just the receiver. Subscribing to the channel is a way of staying anchored in this unfolding guidance. These messages are connected, and continuity matters. When you remain connected, clarity builds rather than resets. Commenting your reflections grounds what you have received, turning insight into lived understanding. There is also an opportunity to deepen commitment. Joining the membership is not about exclusivity, it is about intention. Those who choose to stay close receive guidance that requires trust and continuity. Alignment strengthens where dedication is present. Now return inward. There is a subtle but important lesson about consistency, being reinforced. Alignment is not maintained through occasional insight, but through daily alignment with truth. Small choices, repeated over time, shape direction more powerfully than rare moments of inspiration. Archangel Michael's presence here emphasizes integrity when no one is watching. How you treat yourself, how you honor your values, how you respond under pressure. These moments define alignment more than public actions ever could. You are being strengthened from the inside out. You may feel moments of resistance to this responsibility. That is natural. Growth always brings awareness of capacity. Do not interpret resistance as inability. It is simply the mind adjusting to expanded clarity. Let it pass without giving it authority. Notice how peace has become a reliable indicator. When a choice aligns with truth, peace follows, even if the path is challenging. When something is misaligned, unrest appears even if the option seems appealing. Trust this indicator. It has been refined through experience. There is also a reminder here to remain teachable. Alignment does not mean you have arrived. It means you are attentive. Stay open to correction, insight, and refinement. Archangel Michael guides those who are willing to listen, not those who claim certainty. As this part of the message draws to a close, take a moment to recognize how far your understanding has come. You are not the same person who began listening. Awareness has deepened. Discernment has sharpened. Trust has strengthened. Keep watching, because what unfolds next brings a powerful integration of everything you have sensed so far. This is where clarity turns into quiet confidence, and preparation turns into readiness. You will want to receive what comes next. Beloved soul, what unfolds now is a deep settling, as if everything you have heard is finding its rightful place within you. This is not the excitement of new discovery, but the calm assurance of recognition. Archangel Michael stands close in this moment, not to introduce something unfamiliar, but to confirm what your spirit already knows. This phase is about embodiment, living from alignment rather than seeking it. You may notice that your sense of identity feels quieter but stronger. There is less need to define yourself through labels, roles, or explanations. You are becoming comfortable simply being. This comfort is not complacency. It is confidence rooted in clarity. When you know who you are, you do not need to defend it constantly. There is also a soft release happening around fear of the unknown. The future may still be undefined, but it no longer feels threatening. You trust your ability to respond wisely when the time comes. Archangel Michael reinforces this trust by reminding you that preparedness is not about predicting outcomes, but about remaining anchored regardless of them. You might find that your priorities feel more obvious now. Decisions that once required long deliberation are made more simply, not because they are trivial, but because your values are clear. Alignment reduces complexity by removing inner conflict. When your inner direction is unified, choice becomes straightforward. There is a growing sense of inner authority forming. Not dominance over others, but stewardship over yourself. You are less likely to abandon your principles under pressure. This steadiness is a form of protection. Archangel Michael's guidance often manifests as this kind of inner firmness. Quiet, reliable, and unwavering. You may also feel a heightened awareness of timing. Not impatience, but attentiveness. You recognize when to act and when to wait without needing external validation. This sensitivity to timing allows you to move with flow rather than force. Alignment thrives when action and readiness meet naturally. Notice how your emotional landscape has smoothed. Challenges still arise, but they do not destabilize you as they once did. You experience emotions without being consumed by them. This balance is a sign of maturity. You are no longer ruled by reaction. You are guided by understanding. There is an invitation here to reflect without dwelling. Looking back now does not bring regret, but insight. You see how each phase contributed to your growth, even the difficult ones. This perspective transforms memory into wisdom rather than burden. Archangel Michael's presence at this stage is about safeguarding what hath been built. Alignment can be disrupted if neglected, not through dramatic failure, but through gradual distraction. You are being reminded to remain attentive to your inner state, to notice when clarity begins to dull, and to gently realign without self-criticism. You may also sense an increasing desire to live with intention rather than urgency. Urgency creates pressure, intention creates direction. When you act from intention, even slow progress feels meaningful. Alignment values depth over speed. There is a subtle but important shift in how you relate to uncertainty. Instead of seeing it as a gap that must be filled immediately, you allow it to exist without anxiety. This tolerance for uncertainty is strength. It allows guidance to unfold without interference. You might find that your words carry more weight now, even when spoken softly. This is because they come from alignment rather than impulse. Speak thoughtfully. Silence, when chosen, can be just as powerful. Archangel Michael honors restraint as much as action. There is also a reminder here to care for your inner life. Rest, reflection, and stillness are not luxuries, they are maintenance. Alignment is sustained through balance. Overextension dulls discernment. Honor your need for restoration. As this message deepens, understand that you are nearing a point of integration where insight becomes habit. But once required conscious effort now begins to feel natural. This is not the end of growth, but a stable platform from which growth continues. You are being prepared to carry alignment forward, not as a concept, but as a way of being. Others may notice the calm you carry, the clarity in your responses, the steadiness in your presence. You do not need to explain it. Alignment speaks for itself. Archangel Michael remains watchful, ensuring that what has been entrusted to you is not lost through neglect or haste. Stay present. Stay honest. Stay grounded. The final unfolding will bring a completion that feels both gentle and powerful, sealing what has been formed and releasing what must now move forward. My beloved child, this is the moment where everything gently comes together, not with noise, not with force, but with a deep sense of completion. Archangel Michael stands firmly beside you now, not to guide you forward blindly, but to affirm that you are standing exactly where you need to be. What began as quiet alignment has matured into grounded certainty. You are no longer searching for direction. You are walking within it. You may feel an unfamiliar calm as this message settles. That calm is not emptiness. It is fullness without excess. It is the kind of peace that does not depend on outcomes or validation. You have learned how to listen, how to wait, how to discern, and most importantly, how to trust what resonates before the moment fades. That lesson will stay with you long after these words end. There is a closing of old cycles happening now, not with regret but with gratitude. You no longer need to revisit certain questions because their answers have already shaped you. Archangel Michael does not reopen what had been resolved. He seals it with clarity so you can move forward without carrying unnecessary weight. You might sense a quiet confidence replacing old self-doubt. This confidence does not announce itself. It simply stands. It allows you to face uncertainty without fear and change without resistance. You are no longer defined by what you overcame, but by what you integrated. That integration is strength. There is also a final reminder here about awareness. Alignment is not a one-time event. It is a practice. But now, that practice feels natural. You recognize when something is off, and you know how to return to center without panic. This self-correction is wisdom. Archangel Michael entrusts this to those who are ready. You may feel called to live more intentionally, not because you must prove anything, but because clarity invites purpose. Your choices now ripple outward more than you realize. Even small acts of integrity carry weight. Even quiet faithfulness creates impact. Notice how your inner voice has changed. It is steadier, kinder, more precise. That voice hath been refined through every part of this journey. Protected. It is one of the greatest gifts alignment gives. As this final message unfolds, know that nothing here was accidental. Every word, every pause, every resonance served a purpose. You were guided to notice before the moment faded, and because you noticed, something lasting has formed within you. Archangel Michael's presence now is one of confirmation. You are prepared. You are protected. You are aligned. Type "I walk in divine order" in the comments if you receive this message with clarity. Blessing code 5051 has now been released. And now, receive this final transition as sacred continuation. I speak to those who feel the weight of this moment and understand that light must keep moving. The Lord declares, "Those who help carry this word will never lack direction, for I will light their path step by step." What hath been poured into you is meant to flow outward, reaching hearts that are still waiting for confirmation. This mission continues because of those who respond in obedience. When you give through super thanks, membership, or PayPal donation, you are not funding content. You are releasing provision so this message reaches the right soul at the right time. The PayPal donation link is placed in the description as an altar of action. Step forward without hesitation. I bless every giver now. May your seed return as peace in your mind, protection over your household, and clarity in every decision you face. Do not delay if your spirit feels stirred. Act now. So now, stand with this work and watch heaven respond in ways only alignment can unlock.